So the NBA right now is obviously trending in the right direction when you look at the future of this league. There's a lot of great talent right now, and a lot of great talent that's on the rise. And lately I've been watching a little bit of Eurobasket, and I've been seeing Germany play and watching some more Franz Wagner because last season as a rookie, really impressed considering the amount of young talented players from that class and him being one of the best as a rookie last year. And he's pretty much been continuing that play. He averaged 16 points per game in Eurobasket and led Germany far into the tournament before losing to Spain. But we're not here to talk about Eurobasket. We're here to talk about one of the potential star front courts of the future in Orlando. And to be honest, not just Orlando, but in the NBA. Because Franz Wagner will be sharing the front court alongside #1 pick Paolo Banchero out of Duke. And I love this pairing so much because their games complement each other in a lot of different ways. With Wagner, he's very skilled, being a guy that can score from different levels of the floor, whether that's attacking the basket, hitting the three at a very efficient clip, or hitting the mid-range. He can also be a secondary playmaker for this Orlando team, as we've seen him do time and time again this past season, and also be a guy that can play anywhere from the 2, being like a tall lineup shooting guard, or being a small ball power forward for this Orlando team at 6'10", with his mobility and athleticism that he has. And then when you look at Paolo Banchero, we did a lot of talks about him before the draft, and I've been on record mentioning how he is the most NBA ready prospect and my favorite to be the rookie of the year, which seems more likely with Chet Holmgren being out of the picture. But as for Paolo, he has some similarities to Franz Wagner in the fact that he's another 6'10" scorer that can play a tall lineup small forward or be a small ball 5. Now he does have more post game than Franz does and can't knock down the 3 as consistently, but he can do a lot of similar things like be super effective from the mid-range and on the block, while also being able to handle the ball well and also pass pretty well for his position at the power forward. And when you look at the NBA and the way it's going right now, this is a good recipe for success. You look at Tatum and Brown, who just made the NBA Finals in the Eastern Conference. You look at Siakam and Scotty Barnes in Toronto, Kawhi and Paul George in LA, LeBron and AD in LA. All these guys are sizable forwards that have multiple skills at their size. And you look at Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero for this Magic franchise and the potential that they have, to think that they have some really good skills and are just like some of these duos in their own ways, just younger. And obviously it's going to take some time. The Orlando Magic aren't going to be like a great team right away, but these guys are the foundation building blocks for the future of this Orlando Magic franchise. And to be honest, this is the best they've had since they drafted Dwight Howard first overall back in 2004, fresh out of high school. I just love these two guys' games. And then not to mention, if you want to add the center spot into this equation as well, Wendell Carter Jr., obviously a little bit older than these guys, but he's still really young as well. And he's going to be in the front court with these two guys, and he has gotten better compared to what he was when he first came into the league back in 2018. So the future is very bright. And I know that, I've talked about this Magic franchise and the future of this franchise for quite a while now during the offseason because I just love the direction that they're heading in. But these two guys are, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, two of my favorite young players in the game. And it's just funny because Franz Wagner, when he came out of the draft, I wasn't really like a big fan of him. I was familiar with him a little bit, but I wasn't like a big fan of his game. I didn't know what he'll be. But I've become a really big fan of him during his rookie year. And then Paolo Banchero, I've always been on the Paolo Banchero bandwagon for a while now, and I think he can be a superstar. Now, if I had to rank, these two guys, or, rank the Orlando Magic future, not just those two, if I had to make a list, I'd probably put Franz Wagner obviously better than Banchero right now because we've seen him play in the NBA and he's done pretty well. But to think that Banchero has more potential than Franz Wagner does, considering that he's the #1 pick and he has all this talent, it's just crazy to think about. And like I mentioned earlier, with the way the NBA is and the way the NBA is looking at it's going to be for the future, the Orlando Magic that got two guys that can turn their franchise around and make the Orlando Magic a contender in the Eastern Conference, but not only just in the East, but in the league in general for years and years to come, with these two guys being at the forefront and the building blocks for this franchise. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Link will be down in the description below. This has been a checkup where we talk hoops and hoops only, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.